Is Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell worried about his top spot on the GOP totem pole? We move now to domestic politics. Well, that would explain his visceral reaction to an 11-point governing plan put forward by Florida Senator Rick Scott. Should the GOP retake Congress this fall, Scott's plan is unabashedly populist, which is why McConnell is using 1 point in the plan to discredit the rest of it.
And let me tell you what would not be a part of our agenda.
Joining me now is Florida Senator Rick Scott, chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Senator, the Morning Consult polled your 11-point plan and found that the other 10 points polled really well among Republicans. Your reaction?
Some people don't want to have a plan. I'm a business guy. I mean, what do you do in business? You write a plan.
Why does he not want a plan? Because then the people are going to ask, what about point 3, 4, and 5?
I'll be honest here. I had to parse through this story so many times to get a handle on what is going on in Rick Scott's brain. A Republican calling for higher taxes, but then walking that back, and then admitting that that is his plan? We all know Republicans don't lead with logic, but this story is truly all over the place. So back in February, Rick Scott, who was one of the senators from Florida, unveiled a plan that has some Republicans shaking in their boots, saying that, quote, all Americans should pay some income tax to have skin in the game, even if it's a small amount. Currently, over half of Americans pay no income tax. When he went on Sean Hannity's show to talk about his proposal, Hannity asked him if his plan would increase taxes, and Scott demurred, saying it wouldn't raise taxes on anyone. Satisfied with that answer, Hannity did not push back at all. Of course, we all know how this would have gone if Scott weren't a diehard Republican, as Democrats can't even open their mouths about funding for policies without the Fox News world screaming bloody murder about the deficit or the national debt. So what does Scott actually mean? We still don't really know, because on Monday, Scott went on the Ingram angle and reiterated his earlier point that his plan would, in fact, raise taxes on some people, namely billionaires. Gee, I wonder which political figures you got such a spectacular idea from. Scott said that all Americans, quote, want free government stuff. And it doesn't seem like he was joking. And even crazier was Laura Ingram's response. She said he was, quote, unabashedly populist. So what this tells me is that Republicans are setting the stage to fully take back the mantle of the party of populism. And since the Democrats are fully deaf to the cries of us on the left calling for them to center the working and middle classes, I think sadly the Republicans are primed to steal away much of the working and middle class votes. On the show, they went into a tirade against Mitch McConnell, saying that he's an old-style Bush Republican. So Mitch McConnell had stepped in upon hearing Scott's plans last month, stating clearly that should the Republicans retake Congress, raising taxes is not a priority. This twist in the rights conversation is bizarre, not only from Republican leaders, but from powerful media figures on the right as well. And make no mistake, it spells a real threat for the Democrats if they don't get themselves in gear and deliver for average Americans. We can see clearly the strategy of the right in appealing to rising anger towards billionaires and those who don't pay their fair share. And as long as Democrats keep welcoming those same billionaires and moneyed interests into the party, next fall and beyond is going to be a bloodbath. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.